In today's video, we're going to go through entering expenses and paying them out through the expense module. We'll start by navigating to expenses and staff expenses. Here we have a number of expenses that came from the payroll module that we'll be paying out. But I also have an employee expense that I want to enter into the system. I'll click Add in the top right, select my employee, then I can do a little memo here. Say this is reimbursement for some tools that Sally bought for us. And then I'll choose my expense type. We have EEACH for employee expenses, where PRACH is for payroll payouts. And then I'll just enter in my amount. Finally, I'll hit submit. Now that I have all my expenses in here, some from payroll, one that I just entered in here, we can go and pay them out. We'll navigate to select expenses to reimburse. And then I don't want to filter these in any way, so I'll leave this screen mostly as it is, except for I'm going to change the maximum number of records to select from 50 to 250 to ensure that I get all of them. If you do have more than 250 records to pay out, you'll need to go through this process more than once. Then I'll go ahead and click List. And here are all the expenses that we need to pay out. The system will default to check, but I have some employees who want to get paid by ACH. So I'm going to change this to ACH so that I can select them first for payment and ensure that they're paid by ACH. I click this Pay Full checkbox right here. And then I'll make sure the bank's correct and click Save. Now that I've selected my ACHs to pay out, I'm going to go through again so I can select all the checks I want to pay. Once again, I'll hit List. And then let's take a look at our settings at the top. The system will default to check, just like last time, so that's perfect. I can set the payment date. It will default to today, but if I want to pay in the future, I can go ahead and set that. I'll make sure I have the correct bank selected. And then I'll go ahead and select all of our payments. Finally, I'll click Save. Now that we have all of our expenses selected, it's time to pay them out. Let's start with the ACH file. We'll navigate to Cash Management and ACH File Generation. Here, we'll simply select the expenses again, and then click Generate File. And just like that, we have our ACH file. We can download it over here by clicking the Download button. After downloading, you will upload to your bank. And then once the file goes through, it's time to confirm. It's best practice to wait to confirm until the bank file goes through the bank in case you need to regenerate for any reason. Now that we've generated our ACH file, let's go print the checks that we selected. We'll start by navigating back to the Expenses application and Print Checks. First, we'll choose either blank or pre-printed checks, depending on how we have it configured. Then we'll select our checking account. And the next check number will default from the system, but it can be overridden if you have any reason to. Now we can select all of our checks for printing. We can add in a little more information by choosing the employee stub details or check stub details, but this won't be the payroll pay stub. The payroll pay stub will go to the employees through the payroll employee portal. Once we have all of our checks selected, we can go ahead and print. After a minute, your checks will generate. You can print directly from the screen, or you can save the PDF to wherever you need. Once the checks are printed and good, you can go ahead and confirm. And just like that, we've processed all of our employee expenses.